Welcome to Colchester Sixth Form College PE Department. The aim of this presentation is to remind the majority of you why you have chosen a sports course Colchester Sixth Form. For others, it may be a subject that you hadn't previously thought of studying but are now interested in doing so. Have you ever considered why Usain Bolt was named the fastest man on earth? Why is a fake pass in netball so effective? And where did the game of football originate from? If you are interested in the answers to these questions, then you should consider studying the sports course at Colchester Sixth Form College and continue to listen to the rest of this presentation. There are two academic courses available to students, and these are A-Level PE and BTEC Sport Level 3. You can, however, only study one of these options. For A-Level PE, we follow the AQA exam specification, which will be the same exam board many of you have followed at GCSE. And yes, there is a continuation of topics that you have studied at GCSE. For those that haven't studied GCSE PE, please don't worry, as you will quickly catch up. BTEC Sport is examined by Pearson, and for those that have studied BTEC Sport Level 2, the Level 3 progresses on from this course. So before I provide any further information about the courses on offer, I thought it'd be beneficial to you to introduce the team of staff that will be teaching you. The department consists of 4 teaching staff: Shelley Johnson, Stephen Welsh, myself, Jo Lawrence, alongside a new member of staff joining us in September, Adam Bloss. All staff have had a number of years teaching experience alongside involvement with exam marking and moderating. Further staff within the department include Tim Grimsey, who leads our sports coaching courses, Jack Locke, who organises and oversees the running of the Sporting Additional Studies programme, and Claire Collins, who is our gym instructor, who provides students with gym instructions and advice on health and fitness programmes. So, before we go any further, I thought you could attempt a sporting knowledge quiz to assess the knowledge you already have about different aspects of the sporting world. Get a piece of paper and write the numbers 1 to 10. At this point, pause the footage as the answers will come up on the next slide. So, are we ready? Here we go. Did you manage to answer them all? Have a look at the answers. Don't worry if you've struggled with some of these questions. If you choose to study either A-Level PE or BTEC Sport, you may benefit from becoming more familiar over the next couple of months with sporting history, news and developments. Why study A-Level PE? A-Level PE is a subject that can be helpful to any student and can usefully be studied in combination with a number of subjects, but which most directly overlaps with biology, sociology and psychology. However, you don't need to be studying these subjects to study the course. If you haven't studied GCSE PE or BTEC Sport, you can still access the A-Level PE. We look for students who work hard, have a love for sport and want to succeed. A-Level PE is accepted at all universities and allows us to develop a wide variety of skills that would be useful in employment. Possible careers linked to A-Level PE include teaching, sports science, sports rehabilitation and physiotherapy. We have also had students go on to study medicine, business studies and performing arts. To be able to study A-Level PE, we expect students to achieve grade 5 in GCSE PE or merit in BTEC Sport, a grade 5 in science or a 4 in GCSE biology. Due to the written exam counting for 70% of your final grade, we also expect students to get a grade 5 in a written-based subject such as English, history or sociology. This will be similar in many of your other subjects. The remaining 30% of the exam is examined on your practical ability, so students must be competing in the sport on a regular basis. This can either be for a club team or the college team. It is also really important that you are able to gain video footage of your performance. The sport chosen, team or individual, must be AQA recognised. I will talk about this more later on. The 70% written examination is split into 3 distinct areas: anatomy and physiology, skill acquisition, sports psychology and sport and society. And you will see that each area has a range of topics throughout the 2 years of study. Each area has equal weightings in the exam. In Year 1, you will be studying the following topic areas: applied anatomy and physiology, skill acquisition, and sport and society. In Year 2, you will be studying the following topic areas: exercise physiology, biomechanical movement, sports psychology, and sport and society and the role of technology in physical activity in sport. This is the textbook that we use in lessons and students refer to for homework. Each PE student is given a textbook in the first PE lesson and students keep the book for the 2-year programme of study. It is expected to be kept in immaculate condition and students are not allowed to annotate or highlight in the textbook. If you wish to purchase your own textbook, you can buy the book on Amazon for $16.99, but it is not a requirement of the course. Here we have information on assessment and how the course is divided into 3 parts. Paper 1 and Paper 2 accounts for 70% of the course. Paper 1 is focused upon in Year 1 and Paper 2 in Year 2. Both written exams are 2 hours long with a variety of different questions, including multiple choice, short answer questions ranging from 2 to 6 marks, and extended questions which include 8 and 15 mark questions. The non-exam assessment accounts for the remaining 30% and assesses students' practical performance and is known as coursework. Students will be assessed as a performer in a sport of their choice. Remember, this has to be from the AQA recognised list, and also a written analysis of performance. I will now provide further information on this part of the course. As I mentioned earlier, the non-examined assessment, or PE coursework as it is more commonly known, is divided into 2 parts. For the performance assessment, you will be expected to provide video footage of you performing in a sport of your choice in a full competitive situation. The more video footage you can obtain, the better. We do appreciate that this can pose problems for some students, but we have lots of support in place to help you make this process as straightforward as possible. We are also aware that the current COVID-19 situation will make it virtually impossible for students to gain video footage initially, and we will be advised from the exam board on what steps to take for the 2021 cohort. For those that are currently not competing competitively, we advise you to sign up to a college team. If you haven't done so already, you could contact admissions and add this to your programme of study. The second part of the PE coursework is a written analysis on your performance in a sport of your choice. You have to identify weaknesses within your performance in a competitive game and suggest causes for these weaknesses by using information from topics studied throughout the course. Finally, you have to provide corrective measures for these weaknesses by once again using theory topics from the course. If you feel that you may struggle with practical coursework, you could consider changing from A-level PE to BTEC Sport, where there isn't as much focus on your practical ability. Further information will be provided on the BTEC Sport course. Here we have a list of the AQA recognised sports that you will have to choose from. The PE department hosts a wide variety of sporting additional studies, and all college students can sign up to a sporting activity. As stated previously, if you are interested in trialling for one of the squads, for example football, netball, rugby, basketball, or just fancy trying something new like yoga or trampolining, you will need to ensure that this is included in your programme of study. My advice would be to contact the admissions team so this is included in your timetable for when you start college. So, if you're still interested in studying A-level PE, have a go at the tasks on the next few slides to give you further insight into the course. There is an activity for each of the 3 areas studied. Get a piece of paper and see how you get on. Using the information provided on joint actions, select what joint actions are occurring at the hip, knee and ankle for both the kicking and squat action pictures at the right-hand side of the slide. So, how did you get on? Here are the answers. For the kicking action, the joint action at the hip is flexion as the angle of the hip joint is being decreased. The knee is straightening, therefore extension is taking place. The angle increases at the ankle to allow for the ball to be kicked in the right direction, so plantar flexion is occurring. For the squat, the angle at the hip, knee and ankle are all decreasing, so the answers are flexion at both the hip and knee and dorsiflexion at the ankle. This task is based on skill classification. Read the information on open and closed skills. Using this information, decide whether the skills provided in the pictures would be open or closed. Can you justify or explain the reasons for your answer? Just remember, the term environment does not mean weather. It relates to the situation. So how did you get on? The first picture is classified as open, as the environment around the runner, Paula Radcliffe, is changing. She has other competitors overtaking her and possibly crossing into her lane. The second picture, the batting skill, is also open, as the batter has to respond to the type of ball delivered and where and what shot to play to score the most runs. The third picture, Usain Bolt out of the block, is a closed skill, as he is responding only to the gun. The fourth picture, the gymnast, is performing a closed skill as he is the only competitor, so the situation is stable and not changing. A tackle in football is open as the player has to respond to the opposition and the changing situation. And Federer serving the ball in tennis would be a closed skill as the situation is fairly predictable and stable as he knows what is going to happen. The last task is based on the sport and society area and is linked to factors affecting participation rates in physical activity. Read the list of factors provided and choose the ones that you think are relevant in preventing disabled people from participating in sport as often as they might. How did you get on? Did you select any of the following and could you explain your answer? For example, you may have selected limited access to facilities and explained that this referred to ramps into buildings and lifts providing access to all areas of the facility. I hope you have found the information provided on the A-Level PE course informative. If you have any further questions, please contact the college. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation, and the PE department look forward to meeting you in September. Have a great summer.